Hello everyone, this is Weather coming at you with another update. In this update, we're going to be talking about a major Arctic blast with your next upcoming snowstorm. So before I do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. And I do ask you to share this video with your friends and family on social media. All right, so let's get started. Let's take a look at your overall watches and warnings map as is this morning. We're still dealing with our major snowstorm for the Northeast, where we've got winter weather advisories all the way extending into Tennessee and Kentucky, through the Virginias, all the way up into the Northeast. And the main part of the system is yet to happen, and that will actually happen later on today into the overnight tonight, going into Tuesday. And it really doesn't start lifting off until going into Wednesday. So this is a long duration event that's still on the table for the Northeast, and we still have your flash flood watches just along the coast, along California, and as well as Oregon. So let me kind of take you through. Here's the first initial snowstorm that we've been kind of talking about. This is your latest 3K NAM. This is your shortest range models, and it's still predicting a very heavy snowfall event on this system. This is your additional snowfall that's already fallen from the system. So we still have several more inches to come in through Kentucky, through Virginia, as well as portions of Ohio. And then even getting into places like Pittsburgh, still a couple more inches on the table, and even DC. But yeah, your heavier amounts are still to come with this system later on today, into tonight, going into Tuesday. Well, we could easily see a good, here's your bullseye in southern PA and into Jersey. 20 plus inches in those areas is not out of the question. And even New York City, I mean, it could have the potential to have one of your top 10 snowfall totals of all time. So this could be a big event. I mean, even the National Weather Service is calling for 21 inches in New York City. And as this traverses up the coast, you can see, even inland. I mean, we've got some double digit totals. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this system because I know we talked a lot about it. Here's your latest HRR guidance. I mean, this is your latest high resolution guidance, still depicting this same area getting inundated with a good, 12, 18, if not more, 20 inches. I'm still thinking somebody in southern PA and New Jersey is still going to be getting 30 inches from this system as it really ramps up tonight with those 2 to 4 inch snowfall rates per hour bands as these kind of train over the same area. So I'm still thinking that's on the table. Here's the expanded view over the next, with this system. Like I mentioned, several more inches of snow for Kentucky, getting into parts of Virginia, especially West Virginia. And then we have your heavier snows still out west. But now let's kind of take you through the next several days, actually through the next week until next Monday. I mean, we've got a major changes on the way. We finally have some Arctic air intruding into the pattern. Here's your latest probability guidance from the Climate Prediction Center. We've got this Arctic intrusion coming in later on, probably not really until this weekend, but it really starts to take effect and bottled up in the midsection of the country, dropping well below average temperatures for a good chunk of the United States. So definitely major changes on the way. I mean, you can see the probability of your precipitation guidance and has the bulk of the moisture. Remember, Arctic air is your driest air. So, I mean, typically, over the next 6 to 10 days, some of your wetter, rainfall is going to be along the Northeast, into the Southeast, and kind of fairly dry for the midsection of the country. So let me kind of walk you through. Here's your latest Arctic, your 850 millibar temperatures for next Monday. So as this Arctic air really takes shape, you can see the outline of where it's really going to be taking hold over a good chunk of the north central U.S., getting into the Midwest and dropping all the way down south. So your bulk of your Arctic polar air is going to be locked in traits in this section of the country. And this is the depicting on the upper air wind pattern So we've got some much colder air on the way. So let me kind of take you through this. There was that first initial snowstorm off the northeast. It finally moves away by Wednesday night, and then our eyes turn out west where we've got another developing system. We're going to be having some heavier snow start to entrench into the pattern by then, and Idaho, getting into portions of Utah, getting into the mountain regions of Colorado, and that snow will extend into Wyoming, getting into Montana as well. And you can see the freezing line. I mean, we're not that cold as of yet, but this will get colder as we go throughout the weekend. This is by Thursday. You can see we're not really having too much cold air around. Actually, this is Wednesday afternoon. We got 70s down south. I mean, pretty mild as that system moves across into the northeast, and we're watching this other system come back across from the west, traversing east. So there's still no polar air as of yet. And then even by Thursday, you can see the freezing line. So this is just your freezing line of 32 degrees. So a lot of this snowstorm, this upcoming snowstorm, actually happens before the polar air gets entrenched to the pattern. So by Thursday afternoon, we could see another snowstorm moving across and dumping some more snow into Iowa again, getting into portions of Minnesota. Especially, this was going to be training a lot further north in the last system. So a good chunk of, Wisconsin is going to be hit with this system. And then a little lighter amounts as we go into Michigan. Be a fairly quick mover there, but it's definitely going to be a lot further north than the system that you just dealt with. And you could be getting some more snow showers for the Northeast, especially into like Vermont, New Hampshire, getting into Maine, with this other system that's going to be traversing across by the time Friday rolls around. And then here's your temperatures by Saturday morning. We start to get the effects of that Arctic air. I mean, this is look at the graph on the right hand side. I mean, you're talking 20, 30 degrees below zero temperatures in Canada by then, and you can start to see those negative temperatures start to entrench into the U.S. and the interior and northern regions of Montana, into the Dakotas, start getting into Minnesota, Wisconsin, and we've still got widespread 20s down a little bit further south. So now let's kind of take you through Sunday. This would be Super Bowl Sunday, and you can definitely see the colder air starting to penetrate a little bit further south by then. Here's your freezing line getting all the way into the Texas Panhandle. And like I mentioned, your Arctic air is your driest air. So you've got, 1044 millibar high pressure, 1040. So that's some very cold air that's coming down from the Arctic and start to lower those temperatures and bring some of the coldest temperatures of the season. These are temperatures we have not seen as of yet, because we're be dropping temperatures all the way down to minus 20 below zero in the Dakotas, getting into portions of Minnesota, and those below zero temperatures will start to encroach into Nebraska, getting into Iowa by then. So these are definitely a lot colder temperatures. You can see widespread teens into Colorado and Missouri, and then 20s out into the Northwest. But even portions of the Southeast, I mean, you're going to start feeling the effects, especially as we get into Monday, as that colder air really starts to penetrate a little bit further south by then, because the freezing line reaches all the way almost to the border by then of the U.S. So a good chunk of the U.S. is really going to start to feel that Arctic intrusion by then, and you can definitely see the temperatures by then. We're talking next Monday, so that you're good 7 days away. But this is definitely up on the table from much colder air coming in to the U.S. A good chunk. Look at this. I mean, a good good chunk of the north central U.S. below zero. I mean, Iowa 20 below zero. You could be temperatures of 10 to 15 degrees below zero in Chicago, in portions of Indiana, portions of Ohio below zero. So this is definitely some Arctic air. Even Pittsburgh could go below zero, and even down here portions for the deep south, Oklahoma start getting to the teens. Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee. This penetrates all the way further south. And this is not till next Monday. So Arctic air is very dense. It's typically drier, but I think it's going to be even colder than what this model is even predicting right now. So definitely some very chilly air that's on the way. And here's your snowfall totals over the next 7 days. Now, a lot of this is from that initial event from the Northeast that's going on the next several days, but this is your new snowfall total from that initial snowstorm that we talked about that's going to be traversing across Thursday into Friday. So we could be picking up a good 6 to possibly 10 inches from that system before the Arctic air arrives into Wisconsin, getting into portions of Michigan, be picking up some healthier totals, and then just kind of sporadic lighter amounts into Ohio. But then some of the heavier snows are going to be starting inundated, especially some of the mountain regions in Idaho, getting into Wyoming as you go into Colorado as well, especially like I said, in the mountain regions. And then here's your precipitation. A lot of this is going to fall kind of early on into the next 7 days and then start to kind of dry out a little bit for the West Coast. But a good chunk of the South is going to be starving for moisture again, as they already picked up some beneficial rains in the desert Southwest. Here's kind of depicting where your heavier snowfall totals are going to be with your liquid precipitation. But a lot of this down further south in the Carolinas is going to be all rain, and most of this is going to be snow that's going to be mixing into the pattern. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video. Definitely leave your comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to catch the latest update where I protect you before and after the storm.